Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to the School of Vedic Astrology. Today we wanted to discuss Rohiṇī Nakṣatra, but before I start the class, I wanted to actually show you where you can find Rohiṇī Nakṣatra in the night sky, because it's very easy to find. We got here the constellation Taurus. 1 minute, I'll put away this constellation art. And then you see these stars here, this is Taurus. And over here you have Orion's belt. It's just on the right side of Orion's belt, actually, a little bit up. You got this fixed star here, Aldebaran. It's very huge. And also the Pleiades here. So we covered Kritika Nakṣatra. And then you got Bharani Nakṣatra here, the famous triangle on the top of Aries. And then you got Ashwini Nakṣatra here with Hamal and Sheraton. So over here, then you got Bellatrix. Yes, Bellatrix in Orion, which will then be the next nakshatra after Rohiṇī. We got Mrigashira, and then Betelgeuse here, the abode of Shiva, or Rudra, Rudra, which becomes Ardra Nakshatra. So over here, we're going to focus on Rohiṇī Nakṣatra today. So very easy to find. You have Orion's belt. You also got Rigel here. And then just on the right side, you got Aldebaran, or the eye of the bull, Brahma's abode, the Vedic deity Brahmā. And we will see what this nakshatra is all about. Recording for Rohiṇī Nakṣatra, and maybe we can do the questions after, unless you really think it's important to have a question, you can ask me. So Rohiṇī Nakṣatra is situated where? Where do we find Rohiṇī Nakṣatra? It's on the board. It's from 10 degrees Taurus to 23 degrees 20 minutes of Taurus. So this is Sanskrit name Rohiṇī. Also in the movie Lord of the Rings, you had the warriors of Rohan. It's very, but let's go to the Sanskrit. It comes from the root word ru.
So
and
there's a connection between this movie and.
Well, you could say so, because they were very powerful men. They were very powerful.
It's like horse.
Yes, but the whole tribe was considered a very powerful tribe, man. And so the root word ru means to grow, to prosper, and to rise. So it's a very opulent. Taurus is a very opulent earth sign. Is very stable. So people with Rohiṇī are mostly well situated in life materially. So we got a star there, and it's the eye of the bull. And this star is called Aldebaran. The star is also called Alpha Tauri, and the surface of the sun is the same orbit of Mercury. So it's huge. It's like a huge sun in our galaxy. It's 35 times bigger than the sun. It's 153 times brighter than the sun. It's 66 light years away, and it takes light to reach us more than 3.5 days. So it's very far, it's very big, but it has an immense power, and this also emanates here on earth. In Arabic, Aldebaran means the follower. And then we see in Vedic science and mythology that Brahmā goes after a deer, and Mrigashira. And Rohiṇī, this nakshatra, the previous nakshatra Kritika was fire, heat, and light. The next one, Mrigashira, is ruled by the moon, Soma, and this is water. So Rohiṇī is the earth. And what happens when you put light and water together and heat? Things grow.
Yes.
Yeah, so prosperity and growth. So Aldebaran is actually 15 and a half degrees of Taurus. And if you have planets at 15 and a half degrees in your chart, when I will do your chart, you can check there, because this gives enthusiasm, intelligence, eloquence, public honors, but there can also be jealousy, violence, and disease, because sometimes you have crops, but they are diseased. So we will see also this in this nakshatra. Actually, in Taurus, there is a lot happening. What do we have here? First of all, 1 degree Taurus, all gold, as the previous nakshatra, this is considered the worst star. If you have planets at 1 degree of Taurus, then you better take that under the, how do you say this glass that expands your vision. And then Aldebaran, you have 15.5 degrees. Rigel, 23 degrees. This is another giant star in our galaxy.
Loop.
Huh?
It is called a loop.
A loop, yeah, you take it under the loop. And then at 20 degrees you have Rahu exalted. Rahu becomes exalted in this nakshatra because he really loves that energy. And then at 14 degrees, that's where we got the Pushkara Navamsa Pada, Pushkara Bhaga, Vargotama, all together at one. So actually you could consider this point to be the most powerful point in the zodiac. These concepts we will see later. But this Pushkara Navamsa, Pushkara Bhaga, Vargotama. This is very interesting that all comes together there. Now Rohiṇī, we have discussed before that the nakshatras were daughters of Daksha, and they were married to the moon. So the moon, these lunar mansions, the moon spends some time there, and he is known as to be very sensual and romantic. And Rohiṇī Nakṣatra is considered to be the favorite wife of the moon.
Rohiṇī is like Taurus, right?
Rohiṇī is in Taurus, yeah.
But Taurus is like this. Rohiṇī is an astrological sign.
Rohiṇī is one of the lunar mansions. It's called the Nakṣatra.
Yeah, I don't catch it.
Yeah. So, the nakshatras are fixed.
Yeah.
Fixed around the lunar orbit. Yeah. And they are lunar mansions, they're lunar homes, but they are ruled by deities. Mm-hmm. But if you go further, these nakshatras were also daughters of Daksha, which were married to the moon. But we're not going to dive too deep in that, because...
And they change every day, is a cycle.
Yeah, let's have these questions after the class. Yeah. So if you have positions in the third pada, here 20 degrees of Taurus, these people can become very famous. They have lots of fan following on Instagram and Facebook. They're very popular because Rahu likes to shine, and that's Rahu's position. These people like fine dress. They like to dress really nicely. They have, especially women, have cosmetics. They like decor, fragrance, and they like luxury. This is Rohiṇī. This is what a Taurus is all about. The symbol is a chariot or an ox cart, and this is where you deal with your crops, your growing crops, because if you had lots of crops in ancient days, you were a very wealthy man. So it deals with things like commerce, financial dealings, Vaishya. I think the caste is also Vaishya here. Dealings, agriculture. But then, because of the chariot, the symbol is a chariot. If you put this in current days, then you see these people with luxury cars, also big tractors, big farms, and also trucks who move the crops around. If it's a little bit afflicted, these people will like to show off their earnings. They have lots of eyes on them. They are charming, enchanting, and they can also be attention seekers. Regarding career, you see lots of fashion designers, actors, musicians, models, artists, writers. You see people in the restaurant business, of course, because this is where you cook the crops. Real estate, landscape, architects, agriculture producers, businessmen, herbalists, botanists, also working with flowers. The animal is a cobra. And what do you have with cobra? Cobras has these very hypnotizing eyes. So you see people with very hypnotizing eyes also with Rohiṇī Nakṣatra. They can carry fake eyelashes, eyeliners. You see the makeup around these eyes, mascara, makeup, or color contact lenses. This is also very significant. So if you have benefics, if you have a powerful Venus or a powerful Jupiter there, these people can be good role models. They have opulence, prosperity, they are responsible and very friendly. But if you have malefics, if you have like a weak Saturn conjunct Ketu or something there, because Ketu is going to reach his full debilitation, these people can be imitators. And they wear fake clothing and fake jewelry. They are shoplifters, they're very selfish. They do activities like plagiarism, signature copying, forging documents, if you have some Mars there in between, copying others people's their style, spying also, frauding, and they have copyright issues. Also in the music business, they have like copyright issues or book writing. If you have Saturn in Rohiṇī, there was this famous example in the Ramayana. It was this festival recently of Lord Ram. And there's the story with Dasharat where his astrologers, the father of Ram, would come to him and warn him that Saturn is about to transit in Rohiṇī, and this is really bad for the land, because what Saturn does, he takes the juice out of Rohiṇī, you could say. And what happens is the land becomes dry, there's famine, there's hunger, and barren lands are seen, and the crops will not grow. So Dasharat, he went to fight with Saturn, and he told him to go immediately to the next nakshatra. So don't transit in. But I don't know if this is all true or not. So the shadow issues with Rohiṇī is that these people can be very manipulative. They can be extremely materialistic. They can be narcissistic. And then if you have Mars Venus conjunction there, you could be sexually very indulgent. There could be a lot of betrayals in these relationships. The woman or the man can be attracted to other people, their wife or husband. They can have multiple partners. They can be very jealous and possessive. So that's a shadow side, where then we have nakshatra remedies to work on, and there's specific rituals that you can follow to work on these shadow issues. Now, if you put the 7th house or the 7th lord here, I spoke on the 7th house here, that's where these things come up, because the 7th house is the house of relationships. That's where you have to watch out if you have Rohiṇī in the 7th house. Because you have to be careful, or your partner has Rohiṇī in the 7th house. That's where you have to be careful about your partner, because these people, if you have, like, for example, your wife has Rohiṇī in the 7th house, she will be, or he, it doesn't matter, she will have a need to be reassured about her beauty constantly. You will need to constantly comment on her beauty, because she will always try to dress nice. And when you do not compliment her, she will see this as a sign of betrayal. And what she will then do is actually have an affair with other people who do compliment her, because she will really feel the need of this. That's what is observed there. On the other side, when the position is strong, that could be the most devoted wife. She will be super devoted to her husband. But then again, you will have to comment on her appearance. Yeah, because
Have you met someone with Rohiṇī Nakṣatra?
yeah, I know many people with Rohiṇī
Okay.
Nakṣatra.
And do they look like?
Yeah, Rohiṇī natives
Different
are yeah, you can pick them out, yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's a nakshatra which stands out, obviously, because yeah, you can see that. But depending on which planet and which position, it's not all bad. You know, Rohini is they can be very good role models, they can be very nice friends, but the position has to be strong. For example, yeah, Rahu feels very nice there if it's exalted at the degrees of 20 degrees, because many people think Rahu and Ketu, but you have to always check. Each person's chart is different. But in general, Saturn does not feel good there. Because in this nakshatra you want to grow, prosper. And Ketu also not, because Ketu is debilitated there. So the prosperity is reduced. The grow of your crops is reduced. The shine of your aura is reduced. You know? So the fourth lord or the fourth house, if you have the fourth house in Rohini, then you can have beautiful gardens at your home, or a very nicely interior design, architecture in your home, feng shui, all these things. Or your mother, because it's also the house of mother, or your mother loves gardening, or comes to your house to decorate your own house. So you have a good relationship maybe with your mother here, which she will take care of the interior design of your new home, etc., or your garden. Fifth house, fifth lord. What do you think?
Then you're very intelligent. No, your intelligence is about botanics.
Yeah.
Maybe you are studying plants.
Yeah, for sure. Study, but okay.
Your children will.
Yeah, exactly. It's with children, related to children here. You can have lots of children. Lots of children.
Okay,
Yeah. But if malefics is there, you can have late children, or there can also, if it's really weak there, you can have forms of adoption.
Okay.
Yeah. What about the second house and the second lord? What about the second house and the second lord?
So is
I
this?
don't remember a second.
Yeah, there's these people like spa, hospitality. They like restaurants. They have this very sweet speech. It's a house of speech also. They have a very sweet speech. And if the malefics are there, then they can also gain weight.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's the food intake, it's the throat region, it's where you intake of food. So restaurants, spa, hospitality. When Krishna was born, you got Ashtami Titi, the moon was in Rohini. So actually, Krishna is known as the moon avatar. There's lots of reference to him as the moon. And then the sun is in Leo in August. And when the moon transits Rohini, that's Krishna Janmastami. That's the festival of Krishna. Now, one of the remedies that you can take is Brahmā. When you're suffering from ill effects of this nakshatra, it will give you better sleep, and it also increases your memory, and it will nourish your creative abilities. Brahmā is there. Because obviously the deity is Brahmā, the creator. So better sleep, because if you get betrayed by your partner, it's really not nice, and you will have some sleepless nights, obviously. So Brahmā can help with that. And then as famous personalities to finish, we have Queen Victoria. She was the longest serving monarch on earth. She has her ascendant, moon and sun in Rohini, Pada 2, which is Pushkara Navamsa, Pushkara Bhaga, and Vargotama at the same time. So that's a really powerful position there for Queen Victoria. So that's Rohiṇī there, and its fullest capacity. Yeah. Solomon Khan, he had Rahu in Rohiṇī. I didn't write down the house, but he was an emperor. He was also a painter. He had mass appeal. He had secret enemies. He had a sudden explosion of career, and he had a very good speech. And then also Marilyn Monroe, she had her son in Rohiṇī.
Of course.
Yeah. So that was it for Rohiṇī. There's much more, but this is a little bit a compilation of the research that I've been doing. So now I can take questions.